Hi guys. All right, we are going to work on another math lesson. This is a lesson on making bar graphs. So yesterday we were reading bar graphs. Now we're actually going to make bar graphs. And we're going to use some of what we've learned when we were making picture graphs when we make our bar graphs. So when we look at this first page, it's has this picture right here that has hot dogs and tacos and pizza all laid out. And we're going to graph the different kinds of food we see on this table. So right here it says food sold at the soccer game. And over here it says kinds of food. And we've already said that we have pizza, hot dogs, and tacos. And down here is the number of food items sold. So just like when we were making our picture graph, we're going to start at the left and move to the right, crossing off an item and then coloring in the graph. The first thing we're going to do though is we're going to pick a color for each food item. So let's do red for pizza. I'm just going to kind of put this here so we know. We'll do yellow for hot dogs, and we'll do green for tacos. I only put the colors there so we can remember and we don't forget, but that does not start any of our bars. So what we're going to do is we're going to go up into where our food is laid out here on, didn't mean to do that, where our food is laid out here on the table. And we're going to start over here and we'll cross one out and then we'll color in the bar. And when we color in a bar, we start at the line and color all the way to the next line, and that will be considered one food item. All right, so when I look over here at my food, my first one right here, I'm going to cross it off. That's a hot dog. And when I look at down at my bar graph, what color do I need? I need yellow for a hot dog. So I'm going to color in one for hot dog. Then I'm going to go back, cross off taco. And when I look at my bar graph, I need to have green for taco. So I'm going to color that in. Then I'm going to go back up. Next item, pizza. And pizza is red. So I'm going to color in a red bar. And I'm going to continue doing that until I have all of the food items marked. So next one, taco, green, color it in. Then I have hot dog, yellow, color it in. Hot dog, yellow, color it in. Pizza, that's red, color in the next bar in red. Then go back up here, taco, color it in. I want to connect that so it looks more like a bar. Then I have hot dog, yellow, color that in. Pizza, which is red, color that in. Then taco, color it in. And our last one, hot dog, yellow, color it in. So we have made our bar graph now. I went through from left to right, crossed off each one of these one at a time so I wouldn't miss any or double up on any. And then I colored in a section of each bar for each item. Now, just like we've done with our other lessons, we're going to count up how much for each category and write it at the end. So pizza, we have our bar starts here and we go all the way to where it stops, go down, 3. So I'm going to write a 3. Then I'll do the same thing for hot dog. Go along the bar, 5. So I'll write a 5. And the last one, tacos, go all the way to the end, 4. So I'll write a 4. So I can now look at this bar graph and know there were 3 pieces of pizza, 5 hot dogs, 4 tacos, and I could answer questions about it. Which item had the most sold? The most sold would be the highest number, 5, which is hot dogs. Which item sold the least? That's the shortest bar, pizza. We're going to use this to answer some more questions. So let's turn over to the next paper. All right. If I look at the top, I see that it's asking, are there more of this flower or this flower in the garden? Make a bar graph to find out. Shade one box for each flower in the picture. So when I look at my graph, it says flowers in the garden, kinds of flowers, daisies, sunflowers, and the number of flowers. There are more blank in the garden. So we're going to use this picture to figure out where we need to color in our bar graph and to answer that question. Just like we did on the other page, we're going to cross off one at a time and color in one section of the bar at a time. So first, I'm going to assign a color to each one. We'll have the sunflowers, yellow, and the daisies, blue. So let's see here. I'm going to cross off, it's not it. I'm going to cross off a sunflower, color in the bar. Cross off daisy, color in the bar. And I'm going to continue doing this till I'm done. Sunflower, sunflower, daisy. That's my cat if you just heard that. My cat's name is Daisy. It's maybe why she meowed. Next, sunflower. Color, yellow. Now I'm going to go down to the next row and keep going. Sunflower. Sunflower. Daisy, which is blue. Another daisy, which is blue. Sunflower, yellow. And then the last one is a daisy, and color it in blue. All right, just like with our other graphs, we're going to count up and see what number we have. So our daisies, follow my graph all the way to here, go down, 5. So I'm going to write a 5. And then let's look at our sunflowers, follow my bar all the way, 7. So I'm going to write a 7. So now I can fill in the blank. There are more blank in the garden. Which one has a longer bar? Sunflowers. So then I can write sunflowers. All right, now let's look down at the bottom. And this is another one where I'm going to have to give you numbers because it says, do more children write with their left hand or right hand? Ask 10 friends which hand they use. Make a bar graph. So I'm going to give you the number. Now, the two numbers I give you have to equal 10. So we're going to start with left hand. I'm going to pick the number 4, which means then for right, I'm going to have 6 because 4 plus 6 equals 10. So I'm going to have to make my bars now. So I'm going to pick red and green. So I'm going to use green for left, and my number was 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And for right hand, I'm using red. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So now I can answer the question on the bottom that says, which hand do more children use to write? Well, which bar is longer? Is it the green bar or the red bar? It's the red bar, so that would be the right hand. R-I-G-H-T. All right, we're going to do another graph. So if you have your papers at home, put this paper off to the side and get your next paper. All right, we have another graph where we're going to have to ask our friends. Well, unfortunately, I'm just going to have to tell you the numbers. So here, do children like bears, blocks, or marbles best? Ask 10 friends which toy they like best. I'm going to have to give you those numbers. Make a bar graph. Write a title and labels for your graph. Oh, we've not done all of that before. So before we even ask our friends, let's come up with a title. Our title, well, we're finding out which toy our friends like best. So we could maybe say favorite toy. Favorite. And then toy, T-O-Y. Okay. Now, you may not like bears, blocks, or marbles, but out of these three, we're picking our favorite toy. And on the side, we have to say what the toy is. And then on the bottom, since I see numbers, that's going to be number. Ooh, that's messy. I'm sorry. Number of children. All right, now I'm going to give you numbers again because we don't have our 10 friends that we can ask. So I'm going to say that bears or stuffed animals is the favorite of 4. I'm going to say blocks is the favorite of 4. And marbles is the favorite of 2. All right. Now, if you notice, I had 2 numbers that are the same. We also need to fill in our graph, our actual bars. So if I look at this, I know bear, I'm going to have 4. Blocks, I'm going to have the bar go to 4. And marbles, the block is going to go to 2. I'm going to assign colors again. I'm going to pick blue for marbles because that marble's blue. I'm going to pick yellow for blocks because that block is pretty yellow. And we'll just pick red for our bear. So we're going to start with the bear. When I look at that, I have 4 as my total. So I'm going to have to make my bar go all the way up to number 4. And now I'm going to do the blocks. And that one also has to go to number 4. And then last, marbles is going to 2. 1, 2. Now I can answer some questions. All right, let's look. Which toy did the most children choose? So we're going to have to circle either bear, blocks, or marbles. So when it says most, that means the biggest number. Well, let's look at our graph. Bear goes to 4, block goes to 4, marble goes to 2. These both are tied to have the most. So since we have a tie, we're going to circle both bear and blocks because they're tied. Now let's look at the next one. How many children chose blocks? Well, we're going to go up here. Here's blocks. We go to the end, 4, or we could go to the end here, 4. And I'm going to write 4. Now, if marbles and blocks had the same number and it was the most, we'd circle those two. And if it was that bears had 5, blocks had 3, and marbles had 2, then we would know we would just circle bears for the ones that picked the most. Let's look at number 5. How are picture graphs and bar graphs alike? You need to talk about that with your adult or whoever you're working with on your e-learning. Tell them, how are bar graphs and picture graphs alike? I'm going to give you a couple minutes, or you can pause. Okay, now, if you look at it, I'm going to give you some ideas. Both kinds of graphs have a title. Both graphs tell you the number of votes, if you want to use that word vote. They tell you what the item is and how many. Or you can count how many. When it's a picture graph, you'll have pictures in each one of those. All right, let's go on to the last page before you guys start working on your own. Oh, this is something I want you to think about. I'm not going to put the answers on first. This would be a quiz we might do in class. So the first thing we're going to do is I'm just going to talk to you about it, and I want you to come up with the answers on your own, and then we'll do it together on here. So to begin with, this is a picture graph. Do you wear glasses? Yes or no? And we have the pictures in here, those circles, for each child. So tell someone near you the answer. How many children do not wear glasses? Then for this one, how many children wear glasses? Again, you can pause while you count and tell an adult next to you. All right, now we're going to use this bar graph. Use the bar graph to answer the questions. How we get to school, ways to get to school, car, bus, bike. We have our car bar, we have our bike bar, and we have our bus bar. And the number of children. How many children take the bus to school? You can pause it and answer. Okay, and then at the bottom, these are Think Smarter, these can be hard. Is the sentence true? Choose yes or no. So after I read the sentence, you have to think, is that true? Is it correct? Then you say yes. If it's not correct, say no. Here we go. 5 children ride in a car or ride a bike. So looking up here, do 5 children ride in a car or a bike? The next one. More children go by car than by bus. So looking up here, do more kids go by car than they do by bus? If that's true, yes. If it's not, no. And the last one. Fewer children go by bike than by car. Fewer. So do less children go by bike than by car? Talk to your adult at home. Okay, now I'm going to go through these so you can check what you said is your answer. The first thing I'm going to do, up here, I'm going to count how many. 1, 2, 3. So I'm going to write a 3. And then I'm going to count my nose. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And I'm going to write an 8. How many children do not wear glasses? So if they answered no, they do not wear glasses, that is 8. And how many children wear glasses? Yes, they wear glasses. 3. Okay, hopefully those were the answers that you got and told your adults at home. Now let's look down here at the bar graph. I want to write my numbers on the end. So for car, I'm going to go all the way to the end, go down, 4. I'm going to have to write that kind of small. Then for bike, just 1. And for bus, that's a long bar, 8. So I'm going to write 8. Now, question 3, it says, how many children take the bus to school? I'm going to go up to bus, go all the way to the end, 8, or I wrote 8 over there. So I'm going to write 8. Now for the really challenging ones. It says 5 children ride in a car or ride a bike. Well, let's see. Car, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1. So does that make 5? Do 5 kids either ride in a car or ride a bike? 4 plus 1 equals 5. So yes. All right, the next one. More children go by car than by bus. Well, how many go by car? 4. So are there more with car than with bus? If 4 go by car and 8 go by bus, do more children ride in a car? No. No, 4 is smaller than 8. And the last one. Fewer children go by bike than by car. So do a smaller number of kids go by bike than by a car. So is 1 smaller than 4? Yes. So we will mark yes. All right. If you have any questions about what you have learned, you need to contact your teacher. And then you also will have an assignment on Google Classroom over making bar graphs.